Damon was 5 years old when he asked his Aunt Lily the question, "Lily, am I black or am I white?" I don't know if his Aunt Lily was surprised by the question. She said, "Well, your mommy's white and your daddy's white, so you're white." I'm pretty sure that was not the right answer, because Damon said, "Well, when I grow up, I'm going to be black." Damon was not confused by his basic colors. So why would a 5-year-old ask such a strange question? He already knew that it mattered. And at 5 years old, he had already attached value to race. And he wanted answers to questions that we don't want to answer. But we have to start answering race questions, and we have to start answering with the truth. We tell children that race is real, but that race doesn't matter. And the opposite is actually true. Race is not real, but race does matter. If that sounds crazy to you, think about the evidence. Yet, from a very early age, when our children are just learning their colors, they pick up that skin color is different from all other kinds of color. And we don't tell them why. And I said, "Elliot, what color is my skin?" Without even looking at me, he said, "It's black." And then I said, "Well, what color is your skin?" There was a long pause. And then he said, "Gray?" Gray. If we pay attention, we can catch our children in mid-indoctrination. Elliot had figured out that my brown skin is called black, but he had not yet been schooled in what to call the color of his own skin. And he had not been told why we call this brown black and that pinkish color white. Of course, our notions of race go beyond skin color to other physical traits and abilities. I was in 6th grade, living in Hawaii, when I decided I was going to be an anthropologist. I wanted to study human cultures. Mr. Waite told us about a US senator who believed that black people were not very bright, but that they could run fast and jump high. And as the three of us talked about it and thought about the students in our multicultural classroom, we had to laugh, because the intellectual and academic stereotypes did not fit the people in our class. 5 pure races. But again, the science doesn't back that up. There are no pure races. And we've known it for a long time, but most of us don't know it, because in our lived realities, we follow a stubbornly ingrained false narrative. So, if race is not real, why talk about it? We certainly have a number of reasons to avoid race talk. We believe that any mention of race means that there's going to be heroes and villains, angels and demons, winners and losers. Someone is going to get called a racist. We might believe that someone should be called a racist. And we believe that any mention of race only exaggerates our differences, minimizes our similarities, and exacerbates our problems. But we must talk about it anyway. They interviewed the parents and the children both separately and together, and they found that the parents reported teaching their children, do not be racist, do not talk about race, do not use the word black, and do not notice racial differences. They wanted to teach their children that everyone is the same and that racism is bad. And they defined racism as overt, violent, and for the most part, obsolete. The children reported learning everyone is the same, race is superfluous, and hard work determines where you get in life. They also reported some views they had learned about certain racial groups, including the belief that black people are poor, black people are lazy, black neighborhoods are dangerous, and black people are physically stronger than white people. Those views are not far from those from the US Senator when I was in 6th grade. When it comes to race, to ethnicity, to color, we do talk about it, but not in mixed company and not in polite company. It comes up when there's some event in our national culture. O.J. Simpson, English only, Trayvon and Zimmerman, border control, 9/11, President Barack Obama, and sometimes we hear views of people, our closest friends, that we never knew they held, and we realize that race does matter. And our children who have been taught to be colorblind are left blindsided. But these incidents give us the opportunity to tell the truth to children. Chelsea was 6. She was sitting with me looking up images from the Disney animated movie Frozen. She stumbled upon a picture of Elsa, her favorite character. This Elsa had dark brown skin, and Chelsea was not having it. What? That's not Elsa. She's black. It's ugly. She's sitting right here with me. She's almost in my lap. What would you say? I sat there frozen. I could ignore it. Let it go, let it go. I could get angry. Don't say that about black people. But I love our Chelsea. And I wanted to know more. So I said, "You think black skin is ugly?" "Yes," she said. "Well, not your skin. But Elsa is not supposed to be black." And I could only agree with her. What followed was a loving and truthful conversation with 6-year-old Chelsea, now 10-year-old Damon, and 3-year-old Zoe. 3 white children and their black grandfather. And what Chelsea taught in that moment is that our ethnicity is essential to our identity, even if you're an animated character. When we talk openly with our children about race, we don't burden them, we free them. We allow them to embrace an essential part of their own identity and to embrace the identity of everyone they come in contact with. When we ignore differences, it diminishes us all. The vision I long for, and the vision I suspect you long for, is not post-racial, but post-racist. So how do we proceed? Well, we start by taking our cues from the children. We answer those questions. We tell them that race is not real, but that race does matter. We break our silence when they want to know why some brown skin is called brown, but other brown skin is called red or yellow or black or white. We tell the truth to children even before they act. Tell them again, race is not real, but race does matter. And tell them why. Christian was 11 when 5-year-old Damon asked one more question. We were in a fast food restaurant, and the two boys were sitting at a table separate from the grown-ups and children. Damon got up out of his seat, walked over to us, touched my arm, and turned back to his brother and said, "I just want to know, what color is this?" We could see the reluctance on Christian's face. He did not want to answer this question. He had already learned the rules of racial silence. So I tried to break the tension for him, and I said, just answer the question. What color is it? Finally, reluctantly, he said, "It's brown." Damon walked proudly back to his seat. That's all I'm saying. He just wanted the truth. Thank you.